Hi, I'm Uncle Rob, and welcome to the channel. If you're one of those many people who have trouble with the celpip listening section, or you just want to get some good strategies in order to do well on the listening section, then pull up a chair. I'm here to help. You're certainly not alone. And I'm not here to waste any more of your time. I want to tell you that the biggest reason of people who fail, actually of 95% of people who fail, the biggest reason is that they are listening to understand the question, and they should be listening to answer. That's it. They need to be listening to answer. Now, that's it. That's the secret sauce. Now, what I mean by that is the people that fail go in and they listen like it's a movie. They're letting the audio just wash over them, and they think they're going to understand. And no, your job is to hunt for specific information when that audio is being played. I'll give you a story. One of my students, brilliant engineer, great guy. We could talk about hockey, the weather, everything. And he came up to me and said, Rob, I have failed the celpip listening section twice. He said, I don't understand. I work in engineering, and I can understand engineering English, which is, pretty advanced stuff. I talk to my colleagues, I get their jokes, I understand everything in meetings, but I still failed that stupid test. And I said to him, well, and I said, it's understandable, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to help. And I helped him. It was because, he being an engineer, he was a good student, because quite an advanced field of study. But he was going to the celpip test as a good student. He went in, he was a passive listener. He was trying to understand every single word. And if you do that, your brain can't handle that kind of information. You try to focus on every word, then you're going to start to panic because it's a brain overload. And when that happens, you go back and think, what was that word again? And all of a sudden you've missed two sentences. You get to hear the celpip audio once. And once it's gone, you're not going to answer that test properly because you'll have not heard what's been said. So once he learned that he had to stop being a polite student and realize that celpip, wasn't a polite chat over a cup of coffee at Tim Hortons. It's a game. And once he learned how to play the game, his score shot up. Oh, there's a quick favor I want to ask you before we dig in and I go through all the hacks for you and how to do well on this test. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. Yay. And when we hit it, I'm going to do an Ask Rob, Uncle Rob, anything video. And if you subscribe and when the video drops, you'll be notified. And I would like to answer any questions you might have, whether it's on celpip, whether it's on Canadian life, Canadian culture, anything you want. Drop your questions in the comments below if you don't mind. And once again, hit subscribe so you don't miss it. So let's go back to the main business at hand. Look at the hacks here. I'm going to show you how to stop being a polite student. And I want you to start being a strategic detective. I want to change you from being a passive listener to an active hunter. And I promise it will change everything for you. So let's look at passive listening. versus active listening. So the big mistake with passive listening is you're listening to understand, but not to listen to answer the question. So as a passive listener, you're trying to catch everything. You're trying to catch every word and every and every detail. And that's passive listening. It's like watching a movie and you're letting it just wash over you, and you're hoping some of the information sticks or gets in your brain. And unfortunately, for most people, your brain can't do that under pressure. The CellPip is timed, and you only have so much time. And when a question is read to you or aloud, the audio, it's only done once. So you have to listen well the first time. So if you listen and you hear a word you don't understand, don't panic. Just sit back and listen to the rest of it. And that way, you don't focus too much on the word you don't know, but you get the sentences for the question that you might otherwise miss if you stop focusing on what you don't know. Really zone in and listen on what you do know or can understand. And if you don't do it that way, you're not going to do well. So here's a solution. We're taking it from passive listener. We want you to become a detective. So we need you to switch your mindset. You're a hunter now. And what's your mission? For example, you're not there to understand why Brenda is unhappy with her phone bill. Your mission is to find the answer to question 3. So you're a detective looking for clues. You're not some stenographer in a courtroom or something trying to write every single word. That's part 1. In part 2, we'll get into the practical strategies that will change how you score on the listening section. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in part 2.